Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Friends, family, all of our friends out there in radio land, here on the WIDU radio station network on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's almost Christmas time. It's a little nippy this morning. It's not as cold as it was the other day.
No.
Nonetheless, we're here in the studio live. I'm Commissioner Davis, Chris Davis. Lots of titles, lots of work we're trying to do. And I'm in the middle of what I believe is going to be one of the most amazing seasons. Of course, it's Christmas season. It's the season of our Savior and all the different holiday things. But we're in the middle of preparing for what I think could be transformational for a lot of our faith community members. We're talking churches, faith-based organizations. And if you recall, a few weeks ago, I was blessed enough to be able to come on and introduce some knowledge and concepts for you, for us here. And I told you I'd be back. And I said when I came back, I'd bring the whole team back, and we'd actually be here from the horse's mouth. We'd be here the visionary and the planner, so that we could really make this a successful event. What am I talking about? We're talking about security. We're talking about ensuring that your faith space is a safe space. And you have nothing to do but to look at the TV, and you can see that if there was ever a time where we need to be aware, educated, engaged, empowered, trained on how to maintain the sanctity of our worship spaces in a place where the posture of security is right and appropriate, this is the season for that. And so to that end, I'm glad to welcome the rest of the team I'm a part of. The CEO himself, the boss, Mr. Jeremy Boyd, here today on Axios.
Good morning, everybody.
What's up, boss man?
Hey, what's up, man? Good morning.
And of course, the boss lady herself, Miss Bethany Abbott. She's the brain, the marketing, the management. She makes everything tick, I guess.
She does, man. She's the cornerstone.
She is that.
Yes, very much so.
So welcome to the show, guys. Again, thanks to Wes and Sandy and the WIDU radio station network for allowing us to bring this show forward. Again, we've been planning this for months now.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad that you all had a chance to come. Last time, you were in D.C. doing some work for the company.
Yeah, I was actually doing some work for the company. Yes, I was.
And Bethany was also working.
Yes. Yeah.
But today we've got everyone here.
Yeah.
And the purpose of today's show is to talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, why it's important, and how can people get involved. That's simple. What we're doing, why we're doing it, why it's important, and how can people get involved. So help me out, boss. Help me out, Bethany. What are we doing? What is this for those who missed us last time?
Do you want to go? Go ahead.
Okay, so what we're trying to do is we are creating a church security seminar. What I am trying to do to kind of help this going is, as far as marketing, I'm trying to find people who want to be vendors, who want to be sponsors, because we can't do this without our community. We can go and we can make a seminar happen, but if we want this to continue to ripple out into more communities and make all churches a safe space, we need to have you guys backing up. And we are actually, Mr. Boyd is trying to create a grant program. And so that's where all of our money is going towards, is a grant program to go towards churches to be able to legally certify you guys through the NCDPS, and make sure that that liability is taken off of you personally and as a church.
Did you guys hear that just now? That is so important. Beth, you hit something major just now. Taking the liability out of churches is so important, and that's something that many people don't think about when they think about security.
Absolutely. You think there's so many people who are in the churches who are the safety patrol, right? And you've had military backgrounds, you've had legal backgrounds, and you have your concealed carry, and so you think that you're good. And in a lot of communities, like what happened with Jack Wilson in Texas, they maybe are a little bit more gun friendly. But he still had to go through a lot of legal processes when there was a shooting in his church. And so that's one thing that Jeremy is hoping to do with his company, is to help us take that liability and constraints off so that you guys don't have to worry about it.
Jack Wilson is the keynote speaker. For people that don't know, Jack Wilson is the gentleman that he was involved in the church shooting of 2019 in Texas. There was a gentleman that tried to shoot the pastor, and he was part of the security team there. And you're right. He went through a lot of legal battles because he drew the weapon and shot the man. And of course, police had to do the due process, and there was legalities. But if he had a particular, let's just say, a license through the state to provide armed security for that event or for that church, it may have been less of a liability or legality for him because he had his guard card, and that would have been enough for the police to just sort of been like, okay, well, you're legally armed security officer licensed to the state in order to be able to provide security. So it would have been a much less or burdensome issue for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So for those who don't know and who aren't listening clearly, maybe this is your first time hearing this. The question is, can your church be held liable for a shooting incident for your safety person
Yes.
when they take action in response to an aggressor who pulls a weapon and tries to harm somebody
That's right.
in your church? Can they be held liable?
They're liable. And people don't realize this. This is why it's so important, because you would think, well, it's a fair shooting. The gentleman pulled a weapon out. Somebody shot him. It's a fair shooting. Well, if the person that shot them felt like this was a wrongful death, they could sue the church. Now, maybe they wouldn't have a case, but the church has to pump out money for legal fees, for legalities, for police. To go through all the detective work. The city has to dump funds. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen because the police have to do their job, and then of course the lawyers will have to do their job, and then of course they may not only sue the church, but they may sue the gentleman or woman that shot the perpetrator, the person that might be trying to kill somebody. So that again also adds to the burden, and a lot of people don't realize having a concealed carry, even though North Carolina is an open state, it's an open carry state.
Right?
They are open carry, and that is great. But the issue is, if you have a concealed carry, a lot of people feel like, well, that is the whoopee, right? It's the protector, right? I have the whoopee, the CCW, I'm good to go, and that's not necessarily the case. Yes, you can conceal, and that is protecting because then you're not illegally concealing a weapon, but that does not mean that you have the umbrella of protection for becoming like a guard or security guard. And that's something that is real misnomer. That is a misunderstanding of a lot of churches that I've been to, that I've seen, that I understand that's a situation where they feel as if their armed personnel that they do have are protected, but that is not correct. That is an individual who's committing that act in his own little bubble, and it happens to be in the church. So therefore, not only is the church potentially liable for a suit, but the individual also could be potentially liable for a suit.
Wow. It's just like if I'm in Walmart and I've got my concealed carry and something pops off and me, thinking I'm going to, get involved and I, with good intentions, engage the bad guy.
That's right.
And accidentally hurt someone else, and the cops are trying to get in. There's so many different levels of liability there.
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, and the other thing else is it's also important that we're bringing a big squad of a team. I'm bringing people in. We are bringing in people that understand this very well, that are trained to understand this. We're bringing in people that understand how to secure an environment, to conduct threat assessments, provide OSINT. OSINT is online source intelligence, and you'll see that that's going to be a bigger thing that's needed nowadays because people generally now use social media to post manifestos, to post what they're going to do prior to, which you brought up eloquently the last time. You brought in that people with the mental health issues, they post this stuff prior to, or they're posting it in to hype themselves up in order to get to that point, and then they act. So by doing that, having that situation, you got to have that OSINT ability to be able to monitor social media. And so therefore, that's something we're going to teach as well, or provide insight on. And then we're going to talk about how to conduct triage. God forbid something happens at the church. How do you medically handle that situation? Do you let the person just bleed out because you don't know what's going on? Or you know how to jump, whoever's their security team knows how to immediately react and conduct some kind of triage, a type of thing, to be able to stop the bleed out. And then additionally, we'll have people that will also be there who can talk about licensing. Yep. And talk about how to get licensed and understand the PBSB, which is the overseer of the NCDPS, and PBSB is the board that governs the guard cards. And so therefore, we'll have somebody there that's an expert in understanding that, and also helping people, guide them to getting licensed, or having them effectively get licensed through PBSB or NCDPS, which is an imperative. That is, again, something that is not being done. And there's a lot of people nowadays getting on the bandwagon about teaching how to secure a church, and that's fine. And I'm very glad that this is becoming an issue. But there's not a lot of people, which we will be doing, that is going to help you get licensed to be able to effectively do it legally. That is the only differentiation between us and a lot of the other people that are out there doing it, because they can certify you, but they can't license you, and that's a big difference.
You know, you are, of course, a business-minded. You're military prior. You're a security professional. What many people don't know is that you're also a pastor.
Yeah.
And so there's a personal connection there.
Yeah.
With caring for sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that it's personal. So let's talk about that a little. How does that affect the passion you have for this?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, the protect the flock mindset, right? That's what we shepherds are supposed to do, right? Because that's that mindset. Jesus had, the shepherd had the little hook, and, also the hook, the staff was also used to ward off,
wolves and
everything, right? Yeah. So it was multi-purpose. So as a pastor, I take deep, I guess I'm deeply involved in this process because I know what it's like to have a church. I have security in my church, and they're licensed. Obviously, they're my company, so they're licensed. So I have licensed armed guards that come and do work with us when we're out doing the homeless and stuff like that. Because the thing is that it's important that I have that realization, because there was one time when we were out and we were doing homeless, and there was like this huge fight and all this blood was everywhere. Yeah, and I got involved.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the thing was, I was like, my wife.
This is out in the community.
Yeah, it's out in the community. My wife's like, never again.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, never again. And she's like, you own a security company. What are you doing? I said, I don't know. I never thought about it like that, because I was like many other people in churches thinking that just, it's not going to.
Oh, the Holy Spirit's going to do it.
God's got us.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, never again. So at that point, I have one of my security personnel come out with us, and when we're doing our ministry, and every time. And that's what really keyed this on, is because it keyed this thought process, because I was like, man, I bet a lot of churches don't think this way. And then that sort of started this mindset of how we need to start really educating the churches in this.
Yeah. I agree with you 1,000%. I remember my first conversations about this really centered around being aware of, we care so much about our worship experiences.
Right.
Then we should be properly prepared.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're safe. And then you and I quickly came to the realization that having a vision is not the same as being able to plan it.
That's right.
Execute it. And that's what Beth came in.
Thank God for Beth. Yes.
On how important is collaboration and partnership? Like we're all in different kind of way things that we're doing, but we're all sacrificing time to do this. Why is that important, Beth?
I mean, collaboration is the only way that I've worked with nonprofits for a good portion of my life. I got started when I was in high school, honestly, with after school programs, and I just kind of grew a love for the community and how much you can come together. I remember coming to Fayetteville thinking, actually, we went to the mall. It was around Christmas time. And our first experience was everybody being rushed out of the mall because there was a perceived shooting. It ended up just being teenagers throwing chairs around. But I'm like, never again, never again. And I had a bad taste in my mouth. And it wasn't until So I'm a barber. I started working at Kraken Skulls and started getting involved with the community, realizing that if we all come together, we can really make a difference. And I've seen it happen through Man 22, a suicide awareness run, meeting Jeremy and talking to him about what he does. Chad, the owner of Kraken Skulls, seeing what he does for the community. And I mean, without everybody coming together and honing in on a purpose, it's just kind of like just chaos, just everybody doing their own thing. And so we want to come together and kind of like with having either an open carry or a concealed carry, you might have the knowledge of how to do that one thing, how to stop. But like Jeremy was saying, there's a lot of people who don't think about the aftermath or what it is to look for those threat assessments. You know, you may think that someone looks a little bit suspicious, but that doesn't mean that you need to go after them. You know what I mean? And that's a big part of the training that we're hoping to get is to make sure that bad things don't happen and something doesn't get out of hand that could have been resolved.
But that was to Chris's point last week when you talked about that, was identifying the threat as it sort of comes in to the church, and then knowing that as a potential. Now, it could be someone that just had a bad day, or someone that comes in and it's not feeling good, like you brought up, and then they come in and they, but you got to have that ability to focus and see that as a potential, and knowing how to communicate that to your team in order to make sure those types of situations. And Jack Wilson would talk about that, because that's similar to what happened. That's how they identified that guy. That's why he was sitting behind, if I recall correctly, he was sitting 2 rows behind that guy, because he had the wherewithal and the mindset to understand. I think we become too passive, too soft. We're like, well, he's having a bad day, let's not pick him as a target. Well, that's a problem. That's a really dumb way of thinking, because as a security team, a security personnel, that's your job. That if you agree to do that in that role, identifying potential threats, I don't care what race, creed, color, whatever, if they are a potential threat and you've identified that and you've made it clear to somebody and you've noticed your instincts and the spidey sense and the red flags going up, then why not? And then just if it's a no threat, then that's great. But you still always have to be ready. Always have to be ready.
Yeah.
When we began down this road, when we went from just having a conversation about the importance of a faith space being a safe space and security around our religious institutions and things of that nature, to me it grew from just that's a thought to there's real data behind this. And I shared this last week.
Yeah, it was great.
The Department of Homeland Security says that churches are amongst the softest targets in society. How about that change in mindset? Because as we're talking, a lot of churches don't believe. We don't even consider that that's a reality until we see it on TV. And
that's right.
Now we're seeing it more and more on TV.
Correct.
Like the anti-Semitic movement is real. There are people, and it's not just against Catholics. It's not just against Jews. It's anyone who has a faith anchor point somewhere.
That's right.
You're a target.
Yeah.
I mean, how important is that to be aware of, or what's the difference between the myth and that's a statistical reality? Because you're in the security business.
Yeah, it's a statistical reality. It's 100%. It's a fact. And the issue is that many times people feel like that's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm in a military town, so everybody's carrying. Again, that's a very foolish mindset. That's not a smart play. You think that because we're in a military town, we're going to be protected, but that's not true. That's not true. And you think, well, because, I haven't seen a church shooting in this particular city. Well,
not me, not us.
Me, but yeah, not us. But then at that point, somebody will, God forbid, but something potentially will happen. Then all the churches, see, this is where it becomes a real problem for me when we have to be more proactive rather than reactive. What happens is when somebody gets to a point where, God forbid, something does happen, then all the churches go, oh, now we need to do something.
Now let's have a big symposium.
Let's have a seminar, which we're offering in January for free. Free.
Yeah.
It's free. I'm not charging anybody. I'm not charging. There's nothing being charged except with the vendor fees, and we're taking donations, and that money I get nothing from this. This is not a benefit to my company in any way, shape, or form as financially, because I'm spending money out of our own company
Yes.
to do
Absolutely.
Yes.
this. And I'm sponsoring this because I care about the community, and all the money that we are taking, 100% of whatever comes in, going to a potential grant for somebody that we can choose, whatever church, how we're going to divvy it up. I haven't figured all that out. We're still working on that. Beth?
So, and to that, so what we're trying to do for a small church, for example, to be certified, we need about 2 to 3.
2 to 3.
That way, there's someone for backup or 2 people to be able to see from all points.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, for a certification like that, 3-day course, you're talking about a couple grand easily.
Yeah, easy.
Easily. And so, what Jeremy is doing is minimizing that cost because his company isn't making anything. He's willing to
Nothing.
provide that for $500, and then on top of that, provide the liability. So we're looking at one individual being trained and being
Licensed.
licensed and protected for an entire year, and it would be $1,700. So looking for about 3 people. We're trying to generate enough funds for at least one grant. That would be $5,100, $5,100, to be able to protect your church for an entire year.
That's right.
So come out, and like Jeremy was saying, our vendors, whether you're selling something or creating something, you have security that you want to come, it's $25 per person. We're also looking for food trucks, and that would be 10% of your sales. And everything is going straight into that grant
100%.
program. We're not
100%.
taking anything.
I get
None
nothing.
of us are making anything off of this other than making sure that our community is safe.
I hate to use the word tithing, but this is my tithing to the community. This is what I'm doing. I'm giving this back 100%. I make nothing but just maybe a little love from God for this little spiritual blessing. That's all I'm getting back, and that's all I want. That's fine. I'll take that.
And so what people don't understand is that Axios, like, this is a very well-established, national platform security company that already does security.
Yes, we
This
do.
isn't a group of us who just came together one day at a
No.
cookout and
Oh,
said,
no.
No.
this company's already well-established,
Yes.
fully accredited.
Correct.
It's already a security professional,
Yes.
credentialed,
Yeah.
and
100%.
has a lineage of doing great work in the security
well,
field.
thank you.
And who still happens to be a pastor,
Yeah.
and has to have partners who really have a heart for the community, who put in the community first,
That's right.
in order to give faith spaces the training, exposure, education, engagement they need in order to maintain our worship spaces.
Right.
Shout out to Dr. Kevin Robinson and Divine
Yeah.
Empowerment International.
That was great. That's great. He's hosting.
He's definitely hosting
Yeah,
in
it's
Hope
very
Mills,
kind.
his new facility. It's 4916 South Main Street.
Yeah.
I think we're going to come in the break. But on the other side of the break, let's talk about the day of event. Let's talk about the things we're going to be doing at the
Yeah,
event.
that's fine.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the types of vendors. Let's talk about what we're looking for in terms of people who want to come out and how we can really bolster turnout from churches.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, pastors, you don't need to come. Send your security person. Send one person to sit in on this FREE Expo. Free. Get educated, get engaged, get information. And then when we come back, we'll talk about what it looks like and some other services that Axios can provide, as well as some of the other planning considerations that Beth is leading as we prepare for this event. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Don't go far.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services is reporting the first pediatric death of the 2025-26 season. Meanwhile, state epidemiologist Zach Morris said the upcoming winter break could actually help prevent the spread of the flu among students. President Trump Wednesday addressed the nation in his final speech before taking off for the holiday. Mr. Trump, among other things, announced that the servicemen and women around the world would be getting a Christmas bonus. A total of 149 North Carolina Division of Motor Vehicles license examiners graduated to join the ranks of the state agency trying to lessen the load on an overworked and understaffed workforce. During the ceremony at Nash Community College in Rocky Mount, Governor Josh Stein spoke about how improving DMV service is a priority. A bipartisan committee of North Carolina lawmakers met for the first time Wednesday on examining property taxes. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Peter Killeen, WIDU Radio News. A man with a lengthy criminal history facing several charges after illegal drugs and guns were found inside his Fayetteville home. According to Fayetteville police, officers arrested 26-year-old Matthew Ellis McQueen on an outstanding warrant in connection with the case. Shortly after his arrest, police say they executed a search warrant at his home located along the 1800 block of Tryon Drive, resulting in investigators locating and seizing 2 firearms, 1.9 grams of fentanyl, and 119 grams of marijuana. A federal judge has ordered the Federal Emergency Management Agency to restore millions of dollars in disaster mitigation funding to North Carolina, a decision that the state and local leaders are calling a major win for communities across the state. In Fayetteville alone, about $18 million will be allocated to projects aimed at restoring stream banks and repairing 4 bridges. Mayor Mike Colvin saying the funding is critical to ensuring equitable public safety across communities. From WIDU Radio, I'm Peter Killeen.
Today's forecast, mostly cloudy. Grab your umbrella because rain is set to move in, especially this evening and tonight, though there could be a couple of spotty showers during the day. It's mild with highs reaching the upper 50s to lower 60s. Tonight, rain is likely. It's windy with lows only in the low to mid 50s, and we'll wake up to a little rain with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Then it's breezy and clearing. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
This is Greg West. For 24 years, you've known me as your representative on the Cumberland County Board of Education, working alongside parents, teachers, and taxpayers to do what's right for our kids and our community. Now, I'm running to be your at-large county commissioner. My focus is clear: strong schools, reliable water and sewer infrastructure, a growing workforce pipeline, and keeping our tax burden low. Let's build what matters for Cumberland County. This is Greg West. I appreciate your support and your vote.
Paid for by elect Greg West.
I'm Marshall Pitts, and I'm the oldest.
Module Pitts, the middle and the greatest.
I'm Myron Pitts, and I'm the youngest.
And we are
MP3.
I want to say to everybody, please have a safe and happy holiday season out there. Eat a lot, spend a lot of time with your family and friends, and just enjoy the season.
Forget everything he just said. The holidays are about family, friends, and food. Please enjoy.
And I would say that use this time to become even closer to the people you cherish in your life, and take time to enjoy just the simple blessings.
And again, you always want to be so deep when everybody was being lighthearted, but that's okay. I'm Marshall Pitts.
I'm Module Pitts.
I'm Myron Pitts.
And we are
MP3. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas from the owners, management, and staff of Rudy's Incorporated, 2410 Murchison Road in Fayetteville. It is our wish that you and your family have a safe and Merry Christmas. As we celebrate this season, please remember our troops at home and abroad and the less fortunate. Merry Christmas to all from Rudy's Incorporated, 2410 Murchison Road, Fayetteville.
Pastor Gregory L. Davis from the Second Missionary Baptist Church here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You're listening to Wake Up.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J. A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. We are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
Well, we're back. Today we're having this great discussion about an event coming up on January 17th at 4916 South Main Street in Hope Mills, North Carolina. It's the Axio-sponsored Security Expo for churches, faith-based organizations. This is a community event, FREE. It's free. We're talking about being educated, being engaged. There are going to be seminars. Our keynote is a gentleman who was in the middle of it in Texas, and of course Jeremy will come on and give us details for that. But I wanted to give our managing partner director here, Beth, an opportunity to come on and just talk us through, the approach to business side and kind of enlighten us onto how we can connect, how can we sponsor, how can we be part, whether you're a church or business. Maybe you sell items that relate to security. There's an opportunity here for you to be a part of our event.
Absolutely. And it could be, so we're looking for vendors that are either security minded, if you want to do gun safety classes, if you're just someone who has just little trinkets that you like to sell. We're not discriminating. We want all of you to come out because, like I said before, a community is what makes this work. So I actually, on this Facebook page, I linked the Eventbrite page, and then I also linked my email, so you can reach out about sponsorships. Right now, we even have some in-kind sponsorships. We have the lovely Tiffany Haywood. She's doing our marketing, which
kind.
we are so grateful for.
Very kind.
We have Damien from Stop and Smile, who's going to be
That's right.
coming out to our event to do photography. And,
Thank you very much.
We appreciate him. I know that I worked with him with other events. Extremely talented.
Yeah.
Of course, we have the church in Hope Mills that is allowing us to use their location. These are all things that, while they are not donating necessarily monetary things, they are extremely valuable to us to make this event happen.
A lot of money and energy that's being donated.
It's a brand new multi-million-dollar facility.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
That's where you had your
Yes,
man
sir.
to man. Yeah.
So I just reach out. I'm looking for sponsors. Anywhere from $25 up to we have a sponsorship for $5,000 where that would be you would be a partner with us because you would basically be providing almost the entire grant for one church. And there are various kickbacks for your company as well. We'll be doing banners, we'll be doing all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that as you help us, we are helping you as well.
Yeah, and we'll be promoting that a lot on our marketing. I mean, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on all our platforming, so that would be also the thing that you would get. I will make sure that you get, press releases. I will make sure that I give you as much as you gave us. And the best part, Beth, is it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
So like people trying to donate their clothes to Goodwill, you got that last minute right before tax season in donation that you want to get.
100%. You all know how that is. You're all trying to spend that last bit of money.
For the tax write-off.
Tax
Absolutely.
That's right.
Got to spend it.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to just donate that instead to our, and it's a tax write-off because we're using it through our foundation. So
It is.
It's 100%.
We are a nonprofit.
Yes.
We are a 501c3. The other thing that I already got our first donation for raffle, it was from a company in New York. They're called Garage Beer, I want to say. Make beautiful handmade.
That was beautiful.
Flags. Like it looks like it's waving. It
Yeah,
is just
it's so
gorgeous. And
nice.
it's him and his kids that put it together.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
And I'm really excited to get more things like that.
Yeah.
And it can be anything. It can be something Americana. It could be something that just, if maybe you don't have the $25 to be able to be a vendor, we're willing to take whatever it would be, like $25 worth of your products to be able to do a raffle or
That's right.
or an auction or something like that.
That's right. And that's a beautifully well said. I mean, look, I hate, this is a very challenging part of the process because we're asking for donations. And I know many times people have donated throughout the year, which is wonderfully gracious by them. We're really just making sure that you understand this is, again, nothing goes to us. Absolutely
No,
nothing.
nothing.
It goes to, we're helping other churches. So churches helping other churches. And again, this is a non-denominational, it's not Catholic, it's not, Presbyterian, it's not Baptist, it's none of that. It's faith-based organization. So if you're a faith-based organization, no matter what faith, it doesn't matter. You still need security because you're still a potential target. It makes no difference.
100%. I have some clients that are Norse pagans, and they're like, "Can we come?" I'm like, "Absolutely, come on by,"
Yeah.
because, like Chris and I know.
That's awesome. Vikings coming into. I have no problem with the Vikings coming in. That'd be awesome. I love it.
So, yeah, we're just trying to create a faith-based, safe
funny.
space for
Yeah.
everybody.
I mean, this is important.
Yeah.
Our faith, our community events, they are the things that are most closest to our hearts.
Yeah.
Like, and I was thinking about that the other day. I was saying, you know, me as a pastor, as a father, I want my children to grow up in the faith community, understanding service. That's why we still feed the homeless. We still do things that are community based.
That's right.
And so there's a responsibility that comes with that. And the responsibility is that we've got to protect the things that we're trying to do.
That's correct.
And sadly enough, there are nefarious actors that would seek to do bad things.
Yeah.
And the bad guys only have to be right once.
That's right.
To destroy the work of 120 years in the church.
Yeah.
Because some churches in Fayetteville have been here for 100 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Long
all it
time.
takes is one bad situation to really fracture the trust, create fear. And we're not trying to create fear. We're trying to equip the faith community.
Exactly. We're trying to take it from a reactive approach to a proactive approach. Because when you're reactive, that's when a lot of things can go bad. If you have the skills and the training and the mindset, most importantly, you're able to use that OSINT. I don't know how you said it. OSINT. OSINT. I had to look that up. I'm not military. I may work with a lot of military people, but I'm just like nod my head.
Nothing wrong with that. It's okay. Everybody learns. It's okay. I learned too.
So, but it's just about being able to look around
Yeah.
and see and analyze the situation. And I mean, you do that with, for example, triage. You know, if something bad were to happen, you need to see where it is that you need to assess first.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that's another thing that we'll be offering. So this isn't an expo for those who don't know. It's just about military security actions on site. Like there are so many other things that feed into safety and security in our faith spaces.
That's
We're talking
right.
about triage.
Yeah.
We're talking about first responder. The things, the considerations. We're talking about having discussions with your team. What kind of discussions do you need to have with your security team?
Just like we're quick. You know, we practice fire drills in school, right? That's all we did. We did those fire drills. What was it, monthly, quarterly?
Hurricane drills.
Hurricane drills.
Remember that?
Under the
Tornado,
desk, all
all
that
of
stuff,
it,
right?
yeah.
We
I
did
remember
that
that.
as children,
Yeah.
but yet as a church, we're not practicing as pastors. And we're challenging those people to practice not only with the teams on how to evac,
Our leaders,
to exfil the church, how to
Yeah.
get out. You know, these are things that need to be trained, and we're going to be teaching a lot of that too on how to to evac or exfil the church, so that way we can make sure that they know how to do that properly and effectively. And security needs to understand that, especially when it comes to shooting, because what happens in the shooting? It's mass chaos.
Hysteria, man.
Hysteria.
it's
You've seen the
crazy.
videos.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? You see
Yeah.
the videos and everybody's running out and acting,
There's no control.
No control. And that's the thing, I understand that that's going to be hard to control when you're like 5 crew and then you got 200 people. But at some point, you can still create that sort of knowing how to sort of get control again and guide the people out. And that's another thing. And just to kind of segue to Chris's discussion and going back what you were talking about, he was talking about church attendance. A lot of church attendance is down. Let's be real. Why do you think that might be? Could it be the fact that they don't feel safe? They're watching all these church shootings around the country, and they're like, okay, yeah, we understand that COVID played a part too as well, potentially with people staying at home and watching the video at church or whatever. But at the same point, that could be another factor that attendance is down because people just don't feel safe anymore. They may not feel like this is a place, not only can I come to worship and be amongst God and whatever, but that I don't feel potentially bringing my family, my kids to this environment because I don't feel it's a potentially secure environment for them. And as a father or mother, I don't feel comfortable bringing my kids around this. And that's another challenge that could be potentially what a lot of churches need to take in consideration, especially when it comes to this type of thing.
Absolutely. I remember not too long ago in the church community that I grew up in, there was a guy who ran his car right through the doors in Missouri, and started shooting the place up. And I had so many friends like, I'm not going to church today because I don't want my kids to be able, and they were in completely different states, but just because it hits close to home and you want your kids protected.
That's right.
We want your children protected too, because, you know, we as adults may be choosing to come and bring our family in there, but they're following our guidance and they're coming where we are. And so we need to be sure that they are protected because they are our future.
That's great.
You know, this is not about fear. This is about preparation.
That's right.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like this is about preparation. If you want to build confidence in your staff, because right now, staff leadership training, small group training, that's big in ministries. They're really drilling down. We are, I know, on those soft skills that ministry leaders have to have. At the end of scripture and verse, you've got to be able to manage time. You've got to be able to manage people. You've got to be able to act. You've got to be able to do event planning. You've got to have some kind of strategic planning skill set that allows the ministry to take place, right? Because after Jesus preached, the disciples had to figure out how to get the bread and the fish
That's
out.
right.
That's
Oh,
logistics.
absolutely.
Yeah, logistics.
That ain't faith. That ain't prophecy.
No,
that
that's
ain't
100%.
Bible. That's
No.
how can you manage the
Exactly.
worship environment so that it's safe for everyone?
Yeah.
Well, it's like when you both first became a pastor, you first started your job or whatever it is. When you go in, you're nervous, you're not prepared. It maybe was your first time. And as you practice, as you keep doing things and keep preparing, you no longer have that fear. It just becomes natural. And that's what we want to bring to the church, is just a naturally safe environment.
That's right. And, you know, going back to,
That's
you
really
know, that's very good. And going back to the planning logistics stage, and again, I'm not faulting churches for doing this, but, you know, many times over, security is the last thing they think about.
It's not a thing we think
It's
about.
not even think about
not
because
even a
they
little
think
bit.
about
The
the
angels
light.
got it.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
Angels got it.
That's what everybody is taught. Is
Yeah.
that, you know?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think about the lighting. They think about the sound system. They think about, you know, the band, and they think about who's going to be speaking and how that's going to be. They put a lot of emphasis on everything, the show, right? The show. But then the people that are protecting the show, keeping people that are there to watch the ministry, they're not feeling like, okay, this is a safe. So all that money is for naught. All that emphasis and energy is for naught. If you put all that money and energy and emphasis into that ministry and that performance, the show, but then nobody shows up because they don't feel safe, that's a loss of revenue. I mean, I'm a business owner. That's loss of money. That's loss of energy, loss of time. And you just realize that, you know, you spend all this time, energy, and all this, but then, you know, only 20 people show. That's like, well, you know, then why would you? Then you have to reassess as a military person.
How are you able to get your message
That's
out
right.
from there?
That's right. You're always doing these AARs, right? You always got after action reviews. Got to figure out. And a lot of times they don't do these AARs. They don't assess. They go, well, maybe we just didn't market it right. Well, maybe you didn't market it right, or people didn't feel safe coming there. And that's another thing that you need to look at.
Absolutely.
I apologize. It's the boss.
Oh, the other boss.
The other boss. Absolutely. I
got it.
I have multiple bosses.
Oh, I got it. I understand.
And the more bosses, the better I am. as a
Yeah, I
worker.
got it, man. I got
I need
it.
lots of management. Another perspective I want us to put out there was the concept of church security isn't just about people standing on a wall, looking around, a group of people, making sure that things are well. You and I had a conversation about site assessments, about the importance of knowing where your soft spots at your building.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, about posting exit strategies, the same way you do with fire
That's right.
drills.
Right.
Like, what are those things going to be offered at the expo also?
Yes, threat assessment, how to self-identify threats. Very good. Yes, and that's going to be taught by Chris Alvarez, who's a former Ranger, special operations guy. Great guy, great friend. He's going to be teaching that. Most of the people there have had some kind of knowledge and military experience that are going to be there. Adam Kuhn, he was a former intelligence officer for the Air Force, who actually designed a lot of the Air Force security platforms, which is crazy to think. This guy's an OG of security. He's going to be teaching about online source intelligence. I mean, I'm bringing subject matter experts, and then we're working on getting a medic, a combat medic or a medic.
We are so close to locking it in.
We're
We're
locking
so
it in. We're
close.
close.
Okay.
We're
So
trying to get
let's
that
get it
one
back.
body. Yeah, so we're getting close.
The problem was we had someone, but you guys know that when you're in the military, when you're active duty, job always goes first. And unfortunately, right now, there seems to be a lot of deployments and different trainings, and it just happens.
We have time. But albeit that we're bringing in a subject matter expert on the medical, the meds, so we got to make sure we teach on that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we bring in a subject matter expert on licensing and understand how to go through the process and actually can help facilitate that process for your church so it's less logistical mess that you got to deal with because you're just basically a one-stop shop. And then, of course, we're having Jack Wilson speak is what we're talking about. And Jack Wilson, who we talked, who was just, we've spoken briefly about, who also is a subject matter expert. He's a commissioner of Texas. He's a big proponent of the church security, and he speaks about his incident that's happened. He speaks throughout the nation. The guy's well-spoken, understands security. He's going to talk about all the experiences he had, all the things how he planned and prepped, and how he teaches other people and teaches other churches and other seminars. So, this is going to be a wealth of knowledge. And the crazy part, again, it's FREE. It's free. Literally, you are getting tens of thousands of dollars of knowledge, lifetimes of experience, in a seminar, in a one-day seminar that's going to provide you not only a lifetime of protection for your church, that'll provide you the ability to make those people feel like a faith space is a safe place. So that's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. And again, we're not charging anything. And I keep saying that because people are like, this is astonishing. It sounds like one of those late night ads you watch, after hours, the guy being there. It's like, shocking, it's free, but it's literally free,
Yeah. I think that's the most important part. It started from a place of service.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And when I remember we were initially discussing how this worked, the thing that kept coming over and over again is, how do we provide a service to a church that needs it? There are ministries here that have 1,000 members. They have state troopers that work on Sunday, and they're parked outside of their big churches. But every church isn't that way.
No.
No,
this is for the church
absolutely
of
not.
70 people.
Absolutely not.
With 80 people. What if you are the church? What's our message to that church with 80 people? A pastor, and you're growing, thriving, but you're smaller. What's our message?
No, the message is basically size is irrelevant. You're as a pastor or a leader of that church, your responsibility is to make sure that they feel comfortable coming there. And this is I think it's a duty as a pastor, a duty as the shepherd to come and to help them and bring them to an area where they can, one, learn, and it shows that you value them. As a pastor, you want to value the people within your ministry. And that's important because you want to let them know that, hey, I can't do it all, but I value you enough in a way to show that I do care and that I want to provide safety and security for your families. You are a value to me. And nothing says more than that by sending somebody to this thing on Eventbrite, which is on Eventbrite, by the way, Church Security Seminar on Fayetteville. And it literally free. You just go in there, get tickets. We're selling tickets. We only got a few hundred tickets, and they are going. Every morning I see people buying, not buying or getting tickets.
Yeah,
so
securing them.
Yeah, securing them. Yeah, I see that every
that's
morning.
The part we're at right now. How do we get the tickets? Give us the detailed information for the event. Give us all the 5 W's and all that.
Go ahead, Ben.
So there's an Eventbrite page again on this Facebook page. In the comments section, I put the link for Eventbrite. All you have to do is click on it, put in your information, and then the ticket will go straight into your email. Again, it's free, and you are going to get a wealth of information. Like Jeremy said, we're going to be going over medical triage. We're going to be going over threat assessment. We're going to go over online threat and finally the liability. And then, of course, you get to hear from first witness, Jack Wilson. And when I was talking to him, he was talking about how much he wants to give his knowledge of what went right with how he everything went down in Texas, and also what went wrong, where his soft spots were, and be able to show us how to be able to do better than he did. And he was so passionate about the liability aspect. That was something that he wished that he had over and over and over again. That's what he kept saying.
That's well said. Yes, that's correct. Jack Wilson, great guy, and I've talked to him too as well. Just solid guy, and he cares, and that's the thing. And he's coming down all the way from Texas. He's coming out from Houston to come here to our little town of Fayetteville. Come here to take time out in his service as well, to take time out to be able to speak to those and to help better the churches. And that says a lot about his mindset, his service mindset. And this is what's great. We're trying to create a service mindset. We're serving you this opportunity to come and to experience this again for free. I keep saying free because people just need to understand.
Yeah,
there's the churches.
It's hard to believe,
Yeah.
and you're trying to find churches and partners to sponsor churches to have their security professionals certified.
It's crazy. I know. It's
like that's
It's
People
mind-blowing.
don't do that.
No,
Like,
they
no.
don't. No, they don't.
No.
And the other great part is that the churches, this again, there's not one particular faith. It's faith based. That's why it says faith based. So it doesn't matter what
Every church can
every
come.
church. It doesn't matter. If you care about your people, you value your people, you value your flock. This is for you, and this shows that you are letting your people. I challenge the ministers and pastors and the Norse folks or whatever.
They're so cool. You love them.
I challenge however they run their church, but I challenge those people to make that announcement and say, hey, look, I am sending our crew January 17th for this seminar. Because I value and love you, I want you to know that I'm going to do something about what we potentially might have an issue. I have to address this. As leaders, we have to address the hard stuff. This is a hard stuff because you're a soft target. It's a hard issue that needs to be addressed because you've become soft targets. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. It's the way of the world, and I hate to sound that way, but it's true. And we have the hard job of doing that stuff. That's our job. As a pastor, that's our responsibility.
Wow.
That's what we need to be taking into consideration. So if you value your church, which I know these ministers and pastors do because they get up every day, talk to their flock, they pray with them, they sacrifice, just now do one more and just tell them, I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to send our ushers, our crew, our security team to this free event because I love and care for you.
Wow.
And real quick, just email me, AxiosInspiresFoundation@gmail.com. Again, I have that down in the comments section, or you can even click on my picture, Bethany Abbott, send me a message on Facebook, and I would love to give you more information about being a sponsor, being a vendor. If you want to bring your food truck out, we are needing to feed people. There's going to be a bunch of people, and I can give you all of the details.
I don't have the power of Jesus Christ to make two fish and 5 loaves of bread into the thousands, but praise the Lord. But the thing is that we're wanting to feed the flock too.
There's
and that'd
a
be
lot of
wonderful.
talented people out there too. We know that you make some good food.
That'd be amazing to see. I would love
I'm
that.
gonna tell my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Well, we already know that.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
can throw down.
Yeah.
We know how good your
Oh, for
wife
sure.
is. Because we
For sure.
love her cooking.
And what we're going to do is we're going to get the flyers. We'll leave here at the WID radio
That's right.
station because on Wednesdays, the pastors' roundtables, different things come in. We're going to make sure the faith community gets this opportunity.
I have one other opportunity that you can help support us. Bubba's has done one fundraiser already. They're going to be
Yes, thank
doing
you,
it again.
Bubba's.
It's going to
Thank
be
you, Bubba's.
on Tuesday, January 9th. It's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. at Bubba's. So it's a Tuesday night. Every Tuesday, Bubba's is amazing. They sponsor a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
We've been fortunate enough to be able to secure a second spot. 10% goes directly to us, which again goes directly towards 100% towards our grant
Yeah.
program.
I love their salmon strawberry
Oh my gosh,
salad.
that was so good.
I told you,
I've
right?
been thinking about
I
it.
wasn't playing. My wife loves that salad. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why we go. Bro,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
good.
so good.
That
It's
Bubba's
so good.
salad, man. It's got goat cheese on it, bro. It's that sauce, man.
We're going to get I'm telling Misha
It
to
is-
do it. She got to make it.
Yeah, you got, bro. You need to, man. She makes that good strawberry salad, and
We'll get it.
we love it. But
Hey, well, thank you all for listening. Bethany, amazing. Jeremy, amazing boss, man.
Thank you, sir.
Boss lady. Hey, we're Axios. Thank you all. Dr. Brinky, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Uncle
God
West
bless
on
you.
Sandy, we love y'all. WID family. We're here for you. Enjoy your holidays. God
God bless. Yes.
Thank you.